Thanks for staying with us. I'm John Kasich in for Bill O'Reilly. In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, in 2003, she killed her two young daughters, ages 3 and 5, by drowning them in a bathtub full of water and was found not guilty by reason of insanity. But tonight, 36-year-old Lisa Ann Diaz is a free woman. After just 2 years in a Texas psychiatric hospital, her doctors say she's mentally stable and ready for release, and a judge agreed. With us now, forensic psychiatrist Michael Wellner, and from Dallas, Ms. Diaz attorney Darlina Crowder. All right, Darlina, we've got to start with you. I mean, as a woman, I don't know whether you're a mother or not, but as a woman and a mother, I see you shaking your head yes. How do you justify letting somebody out of custody after 2 years after drowning their kids?
Well, I am a mother. I'm a mother of 3, and this case was extremely difficult because my 2 youngest children were the same ages as Lisa Diaz's children. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and because of that, she was sent to the psychiatric hospital. And the doctors there decided that she's stable enough to be in outpatient treatment, and she's not walking out free. She is she's under a court order by Judge Rush. She has a lot of conditions that she needs to meet, and if she doesn't meet those conditions, she will be in front of Judge Rush again.
You know, this whole business of innocent or not guilty by reason of insanity has been around a long time, and it drives me crazy because I feel in many cases there's no accountability for the victims whose life are destroyed. Doctor, what is it that what is your reaction to my feeling there?
Well, the basic premise of insanity, legal insanity, is that it is an unthinkable crime. And as someone who's worked on a number of cases involving the insanity defense, I can tell you it's a very high burden, a high threshold to meet to show that you didn't understand what you were doing was wrong. So I can tell you as a psychiatrist that if a person is truly that sick that they don't understand what they were doing was wrong, it's a pathetic, unusual situation, and we have to look at it differently from someone who was trying to resolve a conflict and had a difficult time managing their life, who carried out a homicide.
Yeah, but you testified in the Andrea Yates case, and you were a psychiatrist for the prosecution.
Yes.
Saying that she knew what she was doing when she pled insanity. I think you could put, balance 5 psychiatrists on the head of a pin and come out with all different opinions, right? So who's to say whether somebody knew what they were doing or they were faking it?
I just have to respectfully disagree. I think my profession is an evidence-based profession. The burden to forensic psychiatrists in cases like this is that people, not just jurors, but judges, but attorneys, feel you have to be crazy for a mother to kill her children. However, there are any number of reasons why mothers kill their children. It's terrible. They may have great conflict about it. If you follow the evidence, you have to follow the evidence, and only then can you resolve the question.
Yeah, but in the Yates case, you were in a debate with other psychiatrists.
No, in the Yates case, in my professional opinion, I interviewed people that others had not. I asked questions that had not.
But you had a debate, correct?
I presented the jury with evidence,
right,
and they came to their own conclusions, but they may also have walked in with their own biases, and we have a jury system that we have to be respectful of. I can only present the evidence, but a jury's got to make a call.
Darlina, how do we know that somebody that's released like this isn't going to ultimately turn around and harm somebody else?
Well, I guess technically you don't know. We had a hearing yesterday, and the judge had to determine whether there was enough evidence to release her based on the doctor's testimony, and the prosecutor asked the doctors the very same question, and he said, you don't. You have no idea if the average normal person is going to go out and commit any crime.
Good. Now, but that brings up this question of the lightning bolt, right? Does somebody just wake up one day and say, I'm going to kill my kids? Are there signs out there? And what do you do? If somebody went to the police and said, I think my wife is going to kill the kids, I mean, will anybody take any action? I mean, how does this just come out of the blue, Dr. Wellner?
Well, come out of the blue, it does not necessarily. I can't speak for Ms. Diaz. I can only tell you that in Ms. Yates' case, she was contemplating killing her children for over a month, which is one of the reasons why I testified that she was legally responsible. What I can appreciate in these cases, the dilemma is you're not dealing with your typical defendant who, if you let them out of the hospital, they may endanger family, they may endanger community. In Ms. Diaz's case, as in Ms. Yates' case, The people at risk are children. And if there are no children in the home, there's no one to be at risk. And so
Aren't there people that have had kids and, you know, got out like this and had more children and harmed them also?
That is true. And I think that in terms of an order of condition for Ms. Diaz, I'd be curious as how the court dealt with her reproductive future. But clearly...
What did they do, Darlina, on that?
Well, I mean, I disagree with I disagree with that opinion. I don't believe that just because she killed her kids that she has a propensity to kill other children.
No one's saying propensity.
But we're all arguing here about risk, right? On one hand, you're saying she didn't know what she was doing, and then we say, okay, she's now cured, but you know, there's no lightning bolt apparently, but yet there's 2 kids that are dead. I mean,
well,
who
John,
gets held accountable for this?
Well, here's the issue with the Lisa Diaz case. As far as Lisa Diaz was concerned, she went many years undiagnosed. There were signs all over the place, but she was mentally ill all
so
of her
other
life.
people should be held accountable to some degree, like was in the Yates case, where people came down on Andrea Yates's husband. In other words, the community itself turned its back. Nobody got any help, and we had this tragedy.
The major dilemma with these cases is that there is a natural presumption to say that any mother who would kill her children would naturally be crazy. However, there are women who have conflicts that they attempt to work out and do so unsuccessfully, and also the fact that you have a white female defendant as opposed to a black male defendant may play into people's perceptions
sort of
and willingness to hold accountable.
Well, look, it's just a terrible story, and I know it's complicated. I want to thank you both for being with us. Just a terrible situation.